Welcome to the 2022 Winter Classic Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. Now, here are your hosts, Dan Olds and Addison Snell.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Intersect 360 Research Winter Classic Invitational Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show, Selection Show Edition.
This is a big one.
This is the big one. This is the big reveal of who's in, who's out. We have, Dan, a total of not 10, not 11, 12 teams from minority serving institutions ready to battle it out for championship in HPC optimization.
And the last team came in just yesterday.
Just under the wire.
This is breaking news.
We're ready
fluid.
to get started. It's very exciting. The students are getting ready. They're about to kick off. Let's start revealing the teams, starting with team number 1 is from Cal State Fullerton, Team Tuffy.
Team Tuffy. Cal State Fullerton is a Hispanic serving institution in Fullerton, California, not surprisingly. Fairly new. It was founded in 1959, but they're big. You know, they've got 41,000 students there.
Fullerton State's a big deal, yeah.
That is a big deal. Tuffy the Titan is the name of their mascot, which is an elephant. So we are dubbing them Team Tuffy until they come forward and change it to something better. So
they can be Team Tuffy. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. This is the first time that they've competed in any cluster competition. Little bit about the school. They've got some famous alumni. Let me go ahead and drop this on you. Kevin Costner.
No.
What? Yeah.
Is he any good at HPC optimization?
Do not know much about his HPC chops, but I do know they also had 2-time astronaut Tracy Caldwell Dyson.
Hey,
he's got a little feel for it. Rounding that out, Gwen Stefani.
I think that's an all-star team ready to go.
Now,
maybe we'll get any chance we'll have them as guests on a future studio update show.
I do like that song Spiderwebs. I'm not going to lie to you. I like that a lot.
Who doesn't like the song Spiderwebs?
It's awesome. They're the largest school in the competition by several hundred, but the smallest team, 3 members. But what they lack in size, they make up for enthusiasm. I had 2 of those 3 team members reach out to me before I even reached out to their faculty.
Small like a fox.
Yes.
Ready to rumble. All right, let's go to the next reveal. We actually have 2. Cal State's not done. We've got another Cal State, and with 2 teams coming from Cal State Channel Islands with Team Echoes Engineers and Team Don't Panic.
I got to be honest with you. I didn't know they were a university, but they are. They are. And they're a good one. They're young. Only 20 years old this year, 7,000 students, and they're going big. They've got 2 5-member teams, Team Don't Panic and Echoes Engineers. They could have probably had even more. Their faculty advisor, Dr. Scott Feaster, told me that even more students were highly interested they showed their interest in meeting a couple of times, but they weren't quite sure that they could staff 3 teams given student time commitments and jobs and all of that kind of stuff. But it's a great showing.
Gotta love the enthusiasm come from Channel Islands State. You're saying the school is 20 years old or the students are 20 years old?
The school and probably some of the students. And they've got the great location. It's in Camarillo, right between LA and Santa Barbara. So you got the city or the beach. Nice.
You get to choose.
Yes.
All right. We ready to move on to the next one?
We are.
Team number 4 is coming to us, different part of the country, Fayetteville State University.
From Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's a historically Black school, Team Bronco. And they are, wait for it, 155 years old, the school.
The school or the students?
The school. Okay. Founded in 1867. Now, this is their first.
That'd make them one of the oldest HBCUs, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they are. They are tied by somebody else that we'll get to farther down the list. This is their second time at the Winter Classic. They were in the 2021, but they got started late and ran out of time, basically. School motto, get this, deeds, not words.
Deeds, not words. And here they are stepping up to do some HPC optimization. They want to get it done.
Yeah. Team Bronco, as we've dubbed them, is schools kind of mid-size, 6,000 students, but they offer bachelor degrees in 43 areas and masters in 23. That's impressive.
That's impressive. Looking forward to seeing what the students can do on Team Bronco. Sticking in the Southeast, going a little further southeast, Florida A&M is in the competition.
Coming out of Tallahassee, Florida, 134 years old, founded in 1887, almost 10,000 students. They are Team Rattler, historically Black university. Mascot is Venom, the rattlesnake, thus the name Rattlers. Now, they were in the 2021 competition and they did well. They started out with a small team that ended up getting a little bit smaller, so they combined with University of the Virgin Islands, and I was very proud of what they did. They crossed the finish line in style. But that's not their first time competing in a student cluster competition. They were at the very first student cluster competition I covered back in 2010, another smallish team, and they were under the gun. Their business partner was supposed to deliver them a cluster, ended up delivering a single workstation, saying
it's not the same.
Not the same at all. Saying, well, you can run those apps on this. Well, no, not the same. What was interesting is that while the rest of the team was kind of starting to, they realized they had no chance to win and barely a chance to finish. But one member, Robert Dunn, kept working, and he worked hard. There's still interviews online that I did with him in 2010. Guess what? He was on the team last year, 2021, as a graduate student.
Hey, fantastic.
Fantastic legacy.
So we got Team Rattler from FAMU bringing some experience in. We want to see how they do this year.
And they've got, wait until you meet this team. They will be squared away. Their team manager and player coach is a very solid dude.
Next college coming in has a team all to themselves and then another half a team. But let's start with the solo team from Morehouse College.
Historically Black college, probably, one of, if not the most renowned Black school in the country. Founded 155 years ago, 1867, same as Fayetteville. Small enrollment, 2,250 students. They are Team Mystique. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Little Mystique. This is an academically demanding school, and they have a long list of famous alumni.
Well known.
Including Dr. Martin Luther King. And we all know
I've heard
what
of
he
him.
did. Yep. Samuel L. Jackson, Spike Lee, a lot of leaders. The Team Mystique nickname comes from my interviews with them last year, where they cited the Morehouse Mystique as their edge in the competition. And that comes from a book about the school that talked about how the school isn't just about building, students and graduates and scholars. It's all about building leaders. And maybe that will make the difference this year.
And Morehouse isn't alone with this team. They're also teaming up with Spelman College for a joint Spelman-Morehouse team. What are we going to call them? Spelmore?
I like the idea of Spelmore. Let's run it by the team.
All
That's
right.
a good idea. Spelman is a historically Black university. It's all female, whereas Morehouse is all male. And they have about the same enrollment at 2120. Famous alumni, the first African-American CEO of Sam's Club and Walgreens, Rosalind Brewer. Pulitzer Prize winner Alice Walker, plus a huge list. Here's a fun fact for you. They have the highest graduation rate among HBUs with almost 80%. And
that's very good.
The national U.S. graduation rate within 6 years for all U.S. colleges is only 44%.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what Spelman and Morehouse can do, especially when they put their heads together. These are going to be great teams, and really excited to have them in the competition. All right, that's the first 7. We got 5 slots left.
Yeah, we do.
Keep coming. Let's move on to Prairie View A&M with Team Panther.
Team Panther, historically black university out of Prairie View, Texas. They've been around for only 146 years. But they're a bigger school than you'd think. They've got 9,300 students. Mascot is the Panther. And I am hugely grateful to these coaches and this team. They were the very first team to sign up for the 2021 Winter Classic. They took a risk on this new event that they didn't know anything about, and they took a risk on me. And I think it's worked out for both of us. Their motto, Prairie View produces productive people. Very alliterative. Gotta like that, but also apt. It's true from what I can see. One fun fact, they provide the second most STEM degrees in the Texas university system.
Fantastic.
That's saying something. Very remarkable. They also produce the most black architects and engineers, according to a publication called Diverse Issues in Higher Education. Also remarkable for a school that size.
Absolutely fantastic. Bring on Prairie View A&M. We'll see what they can do there in Texas. We've got another team from Texas coming up, but first we're going to take a slide back out of Texas to Tennessee State. Team Aristocat.
Back into SEC country. Tennessee State, historically black college, goes back to 1912. They're from Nashville, Tennessee. Music City. Their mascot is Aristocat, the tiger. So they are Team Aristocat until they do something about it. This is the second Winter Classic for the Tennessee State team. Long list of notable alumni. The guy who created and implemented the first automatic heart implantable defibrillator, Dr. Levi Watkins, hails from there. Pro Football Hall of Famer Richard Dent, Tennessee Tiger. Track star Wilma Rudolph, same thing. And wait for it, one word, Oprah.
Well, I mean, that's their whole list right there. That's
boom, Oprah.
Oprah. Well, maybe we can get, what if we get this team on Oprah? Can we make that happen? Will you make that call?
I wonder if Oprah's got any HPC chops or any HPC connections. Maybe she can
get Oprah in this show on the studio update.
I'd like to do that. I'll put out the word.
Yeah,
I'm sure
call her people, would you?
I'm sure she visits there all the time and everybody knows her. So yeah, absolutely.
I think we should. Okay, now we got 3 teams left. We're going to go back into Texas. The great state of Texas is providing all 3 of the remaining teams, including 2 from Texas Tech University, Team Red Raider and Team Matador.
They are cluster crazy in the state of Texas. Texas Tech, Hispanic serving institution, Team Raider, Team Matador. Founded in 1923, the school, almost the biggest school in the competition with 40,332. Mascot, the Masked Rider, which if you see that Masked Rider come out at the beginning of a football game, that's something to see. Mm-hmm. Impressive. This is the first time that Texas Tech has participated in the Winter Classic. However, they did participate at the SC12 in Salt Lake City competition, and thereby hangs the story. I was covering that, doing videos, interviews with the team. They put together an amazing system featuring full liquid immersion.
Hey,
utilizing homemade gear, a truck transmission radiator, and an aquarium pump, and believe it or not, a special fluid designed by one of their teammates for heat dissipation. Based on their testing data, I think they would have at least taken the highest Lin pack and put it out of reach for another couple of years, but it was not to be.
What happened?
Their specialized systems, clusters, the nodes that had the heat sinks taken off and the fans taken off, somehow ended up in Mexico rather than being shipped to Salt Lake City.
They went to Salt Lake City, Mexico instead?
I believe they did.
That can happen.
Now, Texas Tech has put together 2 teams, good-sized teams. As we said, Team Red Raider and Team Matador. Let's see what they can do this time.
Let's see what they can do. Now we got 1 slot left out of the 12 in the student cluster competition. Everyone on the bubble is wondering, is it them? Is it not? The final team is from UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso. Team?
Yes.
It's Samna.
Yes. And this is the second Winter Classic for this UTEP minor team. Institution, 25,000 students, founded in 1914. They have 2 returning students plus 2 newbies, so a 4-member team. And this team last year, in my mind, really defined what these competitions are all about. Last year, they started out with 5 or 6 members, but they had team members kind of steadily drop out during the prep weeks. And that left just 2 of them. And that's Rudy and Antonio, who you're going to meet in upcoming interviews. They carried the load. They really carried the load. They put in huge hours, huge amounts of effort. They didn't give up, and they crossed the finish line, doing pretty well in some of the applications. Impressive for just a 2-member team. And I'm really looking forward to what they can do with a full slate of team members to help carry that load and this new competition architecture.
So there you have it. 12 teams from across the United States, from historically Black colleges and universities and Hispanic serving institutions. I'm grateful to you, Dan, that you've been doing so much work getting all these teams signed up. I'm even more grateful to the teams themselves and the mentors who are ready to get them started on this competition. We are kicking it off now, and I hope everyone looking at this will stay tuned to these studio update shows for the Winter Classic Invitational. We're going to have interviews with all of these teams. You're going to be
meeting every team face to face, probably a couple of times. We're going to meet their coaches. We're going to meet their mentors. We're going to track them as they go through the 4 phases of the competition. This is going to be something special. It really is.
Are you ready?
I hope so. I know the website's not ready yet, but it should be by the time you see this. But
I officially declare the games of the Winter Classic Invitational 2022 open. Here we go. Let's do it, Dan.
Let's do it. And we will talk to you all soon. Stay tuned.